Hey everybody, this is Wendy Wright, the Hollywood Talent Manager in Los Angeles, California. I'm going to talk to you today about some very specific steps I took to reprogram my brain and to become more successful in my life. Now, some of you may have heard my story in the past, and you understand that I have come a long way in my life. When I was younger, I used to drink, like since I was in junior high school and high school. And I used to drink because it made me feel good about myself. Like I didn't feel comfortable being around people. I felt insecure. I didn't feel good enough. I didn't feel valuable. I didn't feel worthy. And I used to feel like when I drank, it took all those feelings away. And then I could feel like free and happy and more comfortable with myself. But really, when you do that, it just creates a whole nother world of problems because drinking causes you to get drunk. And when you get drunk, then you start doing a whole bunch of stupid things. So that's kind of a vicious circle of you do stupid things and then you feel worse about yourself. And you already felt worse about yourself. That's why you drank. So listen, at some point in my life, I made a very clear decision that I wanted to change my life. I wanted to change my life and become the person I knew I could be. And that meant taking some very specific actions to better myself, to better my life. And one of the things I did was I quit drinking. Now, the very first time I quit drinking, I just stopped. I just stopped for 3 years. Just didn't touch it at all. And I made a decision to heal myself, to get healed from the pain I had about my own worth and my own value. So I went to therapy. I chose to go to a therapist and I worked with her, and that really helped me feel better about myself. Then I did some very specific self-help seminars. I went to Insight seminars, which is a seminar. It still goes on today. There's an office in New York, in Boston, I think, in Pasadena. It's about loving yourself. It's called Insight Awakening Heart Seminars. And that helped awaken my own heart, not only to other people, but to myself. So that really started me on the journey of self-love. And then I did another workshop, a whole bunch of series in a workshop called The Forum. Some of you may remember it was called EST years ago. Then it was called The Forum. And I was introduced to that because my best friend's mother was a forum leader. So I had this really powerful woman, in my life on a regular basis, empowering me to see beyond who I was being and to see more and believe more in myself. And so I started doing these forum workshops. I did the forum several times. I did the communication seminar. So all of these things together started giving me confidence and belief in myself. Now, that doesn't mean I was instantly a success in life. It just meant I had been taking really strong actions towards becoming the person in my heart that I knew I could be. And I journeyed that path for a long, long time. So that stopping drinking myself did not mean I was done drinking, because about 3 years later, I picked up some alcohol again. I went to Europe to make records, and I ended up in a recording studio where everybody was drinking and doing drugs. And so there I was in the middle of the music business, back to drinking again and having a really good time performing live and traveling all over and making records and being around musicians, and everybody was drinking and drugging. But at some point, I realized that that was not going to get me where I wanted to go and that I needed to stop. So I went to AA. And for those of you who are in that program, you know how good it is and that it works for some, and it worked for me. And I quit drinking, and I've been sober about 21 years, right? Now, that's not all I did to become successful. I still go to therapy when I need therapy. I've done the Insight seminar a couple more times, and I am always training my brain to believe in myself. I'm always reprogramming my brain to believe in myself. And how do I do that? I listen to subliminals. And those subliminal messages at night when I'm sleeping: I am valuable, I deserve good things, success is my birthright. All the things that your brain, reprogramming their brain. I read books. I listen to podcasts. I have positive affirmations around, and I have a higher power that I believe in. And all of this is conscious choice on my part to evolve, to not blame others for who I was being, to take personal responsibility for myself, and to grow myself. You know, when you're a kid and your parents are raising you, you don't have a whole lot of control, right? Their decisions, whatever knowledge they have, whatever experiences they put you in, that's what you're going to experience. But when you become an adult, you're your own parent. And you take full responsibility for parenting yourself. You can be the person that you need yourself to be, the person that's going to love yourself the way you need to be loved. And that's what I did for me. I also learned something called contrary actions, which has really been a powerful tool. There's a couple things I'll tell you that changed my life. One of them is contrary actions. The other one is learning that I can't control people, places, or things. And I'm going to teach you what those two things are, because those things literally changed my life. I mean, today my business is worth millions of dollars. I have made so much money in the last 5 years. I'm successful. I have all the material things. I have great friends. I'm happy. And I spend my life helping other people achieve their dreams and build their businesses. And I've become the person I always knew I could be. And that's why I know you can too. So contrary action and not being able to control people, places, and things. What is contrary action? Contrary action is when you do the thing you need to do, even if you don't feel like it. So if you're procrastinating, or you just don't feel like it, or I'm not in a good mood, or I've had a bad day, or maybe, you make excuses for not taking the action you know you need to take, right? So how many of you can relate to that? Because I sure could. And contrary action means you get up and do it anyways. You take a contrary action. If you don't feel like doing it, you do the opposite. You do it anyway. If you need to make a phone call that's going to help you propel your career forward and you're afraid, you do it anyway. That's taking contrary action. And every time you take a contrary action, you get stronger. You get braver. You get more confident. And you get more sure of yourself. And you know that you're more powerful than you thought you were, right? Okay. The other thought is, I can't control other people. Not people, not places, and not things. Why is that important? Well, for me, when I was growing up, my dad is a writer. He's written 65 books. In order to write that many books, you got to be writing all the time. And if you're writing all the time, you're not spending a lot of time with your family. So I grew up feeling neglected, feeling not good enough, not valuable enough, not worthy. And that's why I drank, to get over those feelings. Well, you can't drink those feelings away. You got to deal with them, because ultimately that's underlying everything, and you got to face your shit straight on, right? But one of the things I used to do was try to expect my dad to be different. I'll feel better about myself when he is different, when he treats me differently, when he gives me more attention, or when men give me more attention. I will feel better about me. But no, I never did. I never felt better about me when men gave me attention. And I can tell you, my dad's 86 and he's never changed. But what has changed is my need to change him. And this is very, very important. If you can understand this, if you look at your life and the people in your life who are not mother, father, siblings, the closest people, the people that are your core people that grow you up in the beginning and start setting patterns inside your brain, those people will never, ever change their characteristics. They're going to be who they're going to be. And if they choose to change, that's one thing. But what I mean to say is, you will never change them. You will never change them. So any time that you spend trying to change other people, you're giving away your power, and you're not putting your energy and attention on the things that will help you heal, which is changing yourself. That was a big thing. I didn't learn it until my 30s. I didn't learn it until I was 37. But it changed my life. I used to call my dad every couple of days and he'd say, Wendy, now I'm writing now. What do you need? And I'd feel hurt. I feel neglected and rejected. Why was my husband asked me one day, why do you call him every couple of days? He's only going to say the same thing. And it wasn't until I realized that changed my life. Stop calling him every day. Stop calling him every few days. Then you won't get rejected every few days. And then you won't keep feeding into this belief about yourself that you're not worthy, you're not valuable. Because it's basically like having a wound and pouring salt in it all the time. Here's the wound, and I'm going to go to the source that hurts me and pour salt in my wound and then feel bad about myself. And then that's a vicious cycle. So stop expecting other people to change. They don't. Just today, Father's Day, my brother and I were having lunch. We decided to call my dad. And of course he was like, now I gotta go. And we're like, it's okay. At this point, who cares? He's 86. We're just glad he's on the planet. But I learned this a couple years ago. Stop expecting him to change and just change me. What a freedom that is. And I know that people struggle with that for their whole lives. And it can derail you. If you are in a relationship with a woman that you think needs to change, that can derail you from your own goals. Or if you're in a relationship with a man that you're trying to change, forget about it. Forget about it. You can't change other people. And you can't change things. Whoa, why is that important? Well, think of yourself like maybe you're an actor, you're trying to become an actor, and well, you can't change how casting chooses in those roles that they choose. You can't change that. Okay, they're going to do what they do. You can't control who they bring in. You can't control who they call back. You can't control who they select. So anytime you spend worrying about that, you're wasting your time. Your focus, in order to grow and be successful, has to be on you. Not other people, not your family, not the casting directors, not agents, not managers, on you. And when you shift your vision onto yourself and start changing the things about you that you can change, your life will get so much better. And I can say that from experience, from going from a girl that was so insecure, but so talented as a singer, so talented, but so afraid of rejection and so afraid to sing in public that I brainwashed myself. I forced myself to overcome my fears by taking a contrary action and making myself sing in front of people, even though I was afraid. And that paid off. I did that for many, many years. I became successful in my life, which meant I could get up in front of thousands of people and sing. I could get on television and sing. I made so much money singing, I was able to go out and buy a Porsche cash, and I have a house in Connecticut, and I have like all these amazing material things because I chose to overcome my fear. And I want to encourage you guys to don't beat yourself up because you're not where you think you should be yet. It's going to take time, and that's okay. Give yourself some self-love. Turn your attention onto yourself and love yourself more and grow yourself. If you don't have the knowledge, go learn it. If you don't have the skills, go learn them. If you want to be confident, then you have to take contrary action. Because when you do the thing you're scared of and you realize you're not going to die, that's when the confidence comes in. But you have to do that thing you're scared of first. Listen, I'm just trying to share my experiences in life, hoping they empower you and help you become the person you want to be. And if you were touched by anything I said here, post your thoughts in the comments below. Ask me questions. Tell me your experience. I want to talk with you. I don't want to just talk at you. I want to have a conversation because I'm really here to help you. because I love you. I want you to be successful, and I care about your journey. And I want you to know you're not alone, and that I think all human beings feel like they're never good enough, they're not worthy. There's some level of that, I'm not valuable, that lives in everybody. But that doesn't have to stop you from being successful. Believe me, I have had so much success in my life, and so I know you can do it too. I hope this video was helpful, and I will see you in the next video. Again, my name's Wendy Elaine Wright. I'm a talent manager in Los Angeles, California. I'm also a success coach. I help people get their businesses started, and I help you overcome your fears. So if this was helpful, let me know below, and I'll see you in the next video.